Well, in the last 24 hours, it has been known that ESPN and more so Disney has been taking a big chunk out of the NFL has given them like a really large licensing agreement in which the ESPN slash Disney will acquire NFL Network, NFL Redzone, NFL Fantasy in exchange for 10% of ESPN's equity stake or equity stake in ESPN, which I think is a huge deal, right? We haven't seen necessarily a big major sports organization take ownership in a sports news station since I don't know since whenever. So it's crazy that these two big conglomerates are doing something like this, which on like a service level, it's gonna be really cool to see NFL Network on a lot more of a wider scope, right? I think they're gonna put it. I don't think they've announced yet where specifically they're gonna put it. Whether they're gonna put it on Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, NFL Network Plus, or NFL Plus, or they're gonna do it a lot more traditionally where it will be on cable network. I know NFL Redzone will be a lot more accessible than before, which I think it's gonna do really, really well. I mean, Scott Hansen's gonna stay the host of NFL Redzone, which I think that needed to happen. But Gage, how do you feel about this?
I don't know how I feel about it because now, let's flash back, because before we had streaming services and everything, I remember you had to pay your TV subscription or your TV provider. I think it was like $60 a month or something for Redzone, NFL game ticket or Game Pass, NBA League Pass, like everything that you wanted was a lot more expensive, and you had to go through the cable providers. But now that we have streaming, and for years it seemed like we were heading in the right direction. Everything was so easy to manage. You could have as many subscriptions as you want, share them with friends. But now with ESPN making deals like this, I know obviously this is to get more eyes on the product. The only thing that I could think of was, damn, this is another subscription service I'm going to have to pay for to watch my football. So I don't know. I'm a little conflicted in that sense of like, man, it's just more shit. But I am happy that more people are going to be able to watch NFL Network and NFL Redzone, because I think those are the two products that a lot of people were missing out on, because either you had to have YouTube TV or Hulu to watch Redzone. So just making it more accessible is going to bring more eyes to the product, which I think is a win for the NFL. I'm interested to see how ESPN is going to handle it, though, of like you said, Eve, whether they're going to put it on Hulu or they're going to make it accessible on ESPN Plus. What I did see is that they're going to start charging, like, for all of that stuff, it's going to be like a $20 to like $30 price range for ESPN a month.
Yeah, no, and that's what it is. It's like another added streaming service. And don't get me wrong, right? I would really like to be able to watch Redzone a lot more accessible, because I think they're going to integrate, from what it looks like, they're trying to integrate. They're going to integrate NFL Network with like traditional cable TV, and they're going to include Redzone in the streaming service. That's what it looks like they're going to do. And I think it coincides too with today, like the day that we're recording this. They basically announced that a lot of WWE paid live events, pay-per-view events, are going to be a part of ESPN now.
Yeah.
So like what it looks like is Netflix is going to have Monday Night Raw.
Peacock will still have the streaming rights to SmackDown, and I believe that's through the CW. So if you have cable TV or you're watching it through Hulu Live TV or YouTube Live TV, you should still be able to watch SmackDown.
But the live events now, they're going to be going through ESPN, which I think I wonder how that's going to affect WWE Network.
I mean, the network's been down for a while. My thing, more importantly, is how it's going to affect Peacock, because Peacock was the one that was getting all of the premium live events. You weren't paying anything extra for them.
See, I didn't even know that. You put me on.
Yeah. Peacock was awesome for WWE, I think, because you had everything on there besides Raw, which you just went to Netflix to watch. And this was after the WWE Network got shut down. So I guess it's a good thing. for WWE, but they're kind of on my bad side right now, so I don't want to give them too much props.
You still mad about? Are you still mad about SummerSlam, huh?
I'm mad about a lot of things with this company right now. So I don't know. I think overall, I'll keep my bias out of it and just say I think it was a good deal for WWE to associate themselves with ESPN and get in right when the NFL has another major blockbuster deal with the ESPN. I think it's good business for WWE. And even though people will probably have to pay a little more than what they were doing for pay-per-views, hopefully that doesn't come back to bite them in the ass. But I think the product is good enough right now to where people can justify paying $30 a month for ESPN to get WWE, NFL, whatever else is on.
Yeah. I think the NFL is the big part of it too, of just having that in a centralized place. I think a lot of people will like that because we don't really have too many traditional like NFL games on ESPN. Anyways, like we'll have Monday Night Football and a Saturday Night Football game here or there, and I think this deal is going to allow ESPN to have more games like that. So I guess we'll see. But I think that's a huge takeover that I think a lot of people who aren't in the know are definitely missing out on.
For sure. Yeah. And I mean, like the whole landscape of streaming is changing, especially just Disney buying everybody. It feels like every week we hear about Disney buying a new company, having them merge, and just adding to their enormous media library already. I mean,
no, I'm with you. It's insane, and I really want to ask you: do you think it's a conflict of interest for the NFL to now have equity in ESPN when ESPN is doing ESPN betting? I think that's crazy to me.
Yeah, I wonder how that works. I mean, I know the NFL has their hand in betting stuff, and yeah, it's definitely an interesting conflict, especially because you saw a guy like Calvin Ridley get suspended for a whole year for betting, for doing illegal betting during the season, and the NFL, like we said, promotes it so much. So it's interesting to see how like this will affect them, and if I didn't even think about the ESPN bet thing because
think about it, like that's a sports organization. I know ESPN bet and ESPN are two different like entities.
Wink,
right? Like, wink, wink. But I wonder, like, isn't that a conflict of interest? Doesn't that test the integrity of the NFL that now they have equity in that? In ESPN, I don't think they have equity in ESPN bet, but I mean, I feel like they're very much one and the same.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I wonder how that would affect NFL's other betting partners too, because if they're, they have 10% equity in ESPN, does that mean ESPN bet is going to get all of the NFL's attention from here on? What's going to happen to DraftKings? What's going to happen to Prize Picks? All these other ones that were being promoted by the NFL. Yeah, it's going to be real interesting to see what the NFL does with all of this. 10% equity is no little
bro. It's not a little bit. Like it's not like
that's a lot of
It's a lot of money. That's a lot of money that they have in that.
But I think from ESPN's standpoint too is like you have to do something to get yourself out of the hole ESPN seems to have found themselves in like the last decade or two, where it feels like it's almost like I don't want to say monthly, but they just fire so many people. Like they go through
layoffs.
All the layoffs, all the firings. And like besides the Pat McAfee show right now, what's like the most popular show on ESPN, bro? It was Shannon Sharp.
First Take still makes a boatload of money.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I mean, like First Take has definitely strayed a lot from
what it was. But I mean, from like a ratings perspective, First Take still brings in ratings. You know what I mean? Like Pat McAfee, does. But I mean, we don't know how much that Pat McAfee's been getting away with a lot. We talk about how much Shannon got away with. Pat McAfee gets away with a lot of stuff on that show, and we don't know how much longer ESPN want to keep taking that, especially with the lawsuit that Pat McAfee's having to deal with when it comes to that Ole Miss girl, that college girl that she had said that she had done something with the student's dad, like willy-nilly on on the show. I know she's doubling back, like trying to sue them. Like, who knows how much ESPN is going to take? Because that's not the first time McAfee has said something where it's got him in hot water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see. Because I think because I don't think this takes in effect until the season after next. But I mean, we'll see. I know the WWE stuff doesn't happen until 2026.
Yeah.
So I wonder if ESPN is going to be the same thing. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But regardless, ESPN keeps growing. They're the huge media conglomerate. And now they're being controlled by a mouse.
Yeah, been for a minute.